Hi everyone, in this video we are going to do a portrait of Saint Coletta, also known as Saint Colette of Corbie. She is the patron saint of expectant mothers, so pregnant mothers, and of sick children. We are going to be using some simple shapes to create this portrait, and actually we are going to focus on Wisconsin's standard #1 create. So using elements of art, line, and shape to create the portrait. Before you create the portrait, I want you guys to think about how can we use art to teach or tell a story. So in the description of this video, I will have a link to kind of like a video biography of Saint Colette. And from that video, we are going to pull some symbols to kind of help tell who she is. For this project, you're going to want a piece of paper, a pencil, and then anything that you want to color your image with, so crayons, markers, watercolor, whatever you have at home and whatever you prefer. We are going to begin with making a curved line, kind of like a U in the middle of the paper. So just like this. And if you wanted to be really particular, if you want to be really particular, you could probably measure your hand or your four fingers and do a dot on each side and then connect that line. Already this curve is kind of looking strange to me, but that's why we work in pencil, so we can erase. Okay. On the top of that U shape or the curved line, you're going to make another curved line that just connects each side. Underneath that, you're going to make a parallel line to that's going to mimic this line. So like so. This is going to be the top of the habit that you will see some nuns wearing. So that might look strange now, but it will kind of make sense later. Underneath the head, you are going to work on, or you're going to build the neck. So you're going to draw a line and then another line on the other side. And then you are going to connect those lines. You can make kind of like a V shape, or you could do a U. I'm just going to do a V here. And then from where your neck and that V meets, you are going to just take your pencil and bring it all the way down. So a curved line, this is going to be your shoulder. So you have that on the one side, and you're going to do that on the other side as well. Again, it doesn't have to be perfect. Mine certainly is not perfect. I was going to erase that, but I don't have an eraser. Sorry, I had to find my eraser for a minute there. You can still kind of see my line, but I'm not too worried about that because when I color it, you probably won't see it. All right, so we have our shoulders, our neck, and our head. What we are going to do is continue with the clothing part. So how you made a V here, you're going to make another V just like this. And then you're going to put a line connecting the middle of those V's. So the reason why we are using these lines to create this clothing is the images that I have seen of Saint Colette. She is wearing a very traditional nun's garment or clothing. So we have kind of the top of the habit here and then this collar here. The next part is going to be the hands. So hands are not a favorite for everyone. I don't love drawing hands, but we're going to hopefully simplify it so that it won't be too hard for you. So drawing the hand, we are going to have a hand here and also a hand here. I'm going to start off drawing 4 ovals. After you have the 4 ovals, you are going to draw what looks like a rectangular shape. And that is going to be the back of the hand, so this part. The reason why I am only drawing 4 ovals is because when you're holding something, a lot of times you only see those 4 knuckles or fingers. So that's why we have that there. And then we are also going to draw part of her sleeve. So from where you made that line that's like I was mentioning, that's kind of like a rectangular shape, you are just going to bring it over to the side. All right, so we have one hand over here. If you are more comfortable drawing different hands, please go ahead. I'm just trying to, again, simplify this so that hopefully everyone can do it. And then we're going to do the same thing on the other side. So 4 and if you notice, 4 ovals, but if you notice, I kind of have these on a slant, so I have them slanting this way, and then these ones slanting upwards to the left. Once I have those 4 ovals, I'm again going to make that rectangular type of shape that is attached to it to make the back of the hand. And then bringing that corner to the side of my body, or kind of my shoulder. So right now you have something that looks like a nun who is ready to fight, but I promise you that is not what we're going for. We are going to put 2 symbols in the hands. So the symbols that I chose to do was a shepherd's staff to show that she's a leader, and then also a cross in this hand to show her faith. But if there are different symbols that you want to add in these hands, go ahead. I'm going to begin by making that shepherd's staff. So I'm making a swirl that's like just a little bit above her shoulder. And it's going to come down. And so because there is that overlapping, I'm not going to draw through her hands. I'm going to draw right like this so it looks like it's coming out. And then I'm just going to make that staff a little bit thicker. So just by adding this extra line. All right, so that is my shepherd's staff, representing that she is a leader in her community, and then I'm going to be putting a cross in this hand. So I'm going to start off, I mean, you could make just a simple cross like this, but what I was going to do is make it kind of thicker. So going around that shape that you just made. So it just looks a little bit thicker and nicer. And then if you want, you can color that in, or whatever you decide to do with whatever medium you're going to use, crayon, paint, marker. All right, so we have our hands, we have our symbols. We're going to work on her face a little bit. So one thing that I have noticed in a lot of spiritual and religious portraits is this shape where the eyebrows connect to the nose. So we're going to go for that today. But if you're comfortable drawing faces, you can do it how you want to do it. But I'm going to start off with a U that's kind of in the middle of this face here. So this is going to be the bottom of her nose. And then I'm going to draw a line going up from each side and an arch to make the eyebrows. Just kind of emphasizing those eyebrows, making them a little bit bigger. And again, I can erase that if I don't like it. But then I'm going to be putting the eyes underneath these eyebrows. The eyes are usually kind of like an almond or a football shape. So I'm going to make that shape by making 2 dots and making an arch. And then an arch underneath. On the other side, I'll do the same thing. A dot, an arch on top. And then kind of that stretched out U underneath. Okay, so I don't know, I didn't leave enough room here. I might make my eyebrows a little bit higher. Because what I want to do is add an eyelid. Add an eyelid above my eye. So I'm going to make these eyebrows just go up a little bit higher. Now that I have those eyebrows higher, I'm going to add in the eyelids. Okay, and then I am going to add in the iris and the pupil. So a lot of times I will see people drawing the eyes where it's like a full circle, but you normally don't see the full circle unless someone has their eyes really wide open. So I'm just going to draw a curve because the eyelid's going to be kind of interrupting that circle. I'm going to do that on both sides. And then I'm going to draw the pupil, and that is, you normally do see the full circle. I'm going to add some eyelashes. All right, so we have her eyes, her nose, her eyebrows. We're missing her mouth. So with her mouth, I am going to make kind of feminine lips. And the way I'm going to do this is I'm going to, again, mimic or do kind of a parallel line to this nose right here. And that's going to be the top of the arch of the mouth. From there, I'm going to bring it down, and then make a horizontal line for the middle of the mouth, and then an arch for the bottom of the mouth. These are kind of big lips. If you want to change that to make them smaller, again, you can erase to make them smaller. I'm just going to roll with it for now. Okay, so we have the neck, the face, and then you're probably not going to see her ears because the habit is going to be covering her ears. So on the top, above, this is going to be like a white band. Above that, I'm going to be making the top of her head. Okay, so it's just kind of an arch here. And then you're going to be connecting that down to your shoulder. Remember, again, with this overlapping, that you're going to want the shepherd's staff to be in the front. So we're not going to go through the shepherd's staff. And I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. After you have that arch in the top of the habit, then you are going to be adding kind of a halo in the back. So if you wanted to grab something, like a plate or a dish, you can to make that circle. I don't have a circle nearby, so I'm just going to draw it out. And I'm going to start over by the staff. Okay, so that's kind of a large halo, but it works. If you wanted to make it smaller, you could. The next thing we're going to work on is the background. So the background that I did for my sample is kind of some wavy lines over here, which is going to be some like shrubbery or bushes. And then I also did that above. So that same wavy line, and divided the paper up with those wavy lines. You can do your background however you want. This is just how I did it because I wanted to get a lot of colors in here. For the shrubbery or bushes, I also added some swirly lines. So I'm going to do that. But again, you can choose your background and how you want it to look. I'm doing this kind of fast, but you can take your time with it and add whatever details you want. So you can make this super simplistic or you can make it more detailed. That's up to you. After you are done drawing it, you can color it in. So normally the habits are black and white. And then this collar is white. I accidentally colored mine brown on my other one. But honestly, use your creativity however you want this to look. I also wrote on the other one, Saint Coletta, pray for us. So if that's something you wanted to add, or if you wanted to add some kind of prayer, make this your own. Make it unique to you. So I am going to speed up the coloring of this so you guys don't have to take all your time. Or I don't waste your time with you watching me color. But otherwise, I look forward to seeing what you guys make of this, seeing your portraits, and I hope you have fun. Enjoy the rest of your day. Bye.